I think we've all read these agonizing stories about family members with loved ones, often adult children, who are, in perpetual crisis and can't get them the help that they need, feel like the law creates all of these barriers and that they essentially need to become an imminent threat to themselves or others. They need to commit a crime. They need to jump off a bridge before the system will actually respond. And, those examples are all real life examples that I've heard personally of what it took to get someone help. But then there is the civil rights component and the fact that these are adults that we're talking about in this context. So just to put a finer point on it, or to go a little bit deeper, when you think about ways to serve those desperate families, short of amending the ITA, are there any specifics yet about what could exist tomorrow that doesn't today, or what exists today that didn't exist for some of these families a couple of years ago?
Yeah, and I've heard many of those really, really heartbreaking stories too. And what I see is that many times, not always, but many times, part of what's going on in the system is a response to the scarcity of resources available. So, for example, designated crisis responder goes out, responds to a call, and oftentimes they will have to make decisions about, is there a bed available? Do I have some place for this individual to go, or do I not? And so I think part of it is not only rethinking how we do involuntary treatment, which I do think is important and a conversation we should have, but I also think it's about how are we building out our workforce? How do we have enough designated crisis responders? How do we have enough early services so that people can get in when that phone call comes through? How are we building out our 988 system, our crisis system, our crisis stabilization facilities? That's such a critical part, that we need to have those locations where when people are in crisis, we have some place to take them. And that's what I hear a lot of times out of these stories, is that people have called numerous times, and because there's no place for them to go, they go deeper and deeper and deeper into their mental health until ultimately that's where they land up, is in these involuntary systems. And we should do a better job on that. We should be able to catch people much sooner than that.
You can check out the rest of the show by clicking on the link below, or by watching Inside Olympia Thursday evenings at 7 and 10.